Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha Singh, and in today's episode we will be discussing about the topic of UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So we will be discussing everything about it. First of all, about the news, then what is UAPA or the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, what are the arguments in favor, what are the arguments against it, and then a means practice question. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, that is internal security. So the news talks about Supreme Court says jail not bail is the rule under the UAPA. So it is saying that the rule under the UAPA is not bail, it is about jail because of the provisions of the UAPA. How courts have been granting bail in UAPA cases. So recently in few of the UAPA cases it has been seen that the bail was granted to the people. So the court has come up and the court has said that under the UAPA, because of its provisions, what is commonly seen is that people should not be getting bail easily. So what is it and what are the provisions under the UAPA? That is what we will be looking. So the Supreme Court has denied bail to Gurwinder Singh, an accused in an allied Khalistan module, and the case has been registered under the UAPA. So it has been seen that under UAPA all the activities which is harming country's security or some other prospect with regard to the internal security of the country is seen. Now about the UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So UAPA was passed in the year 1967 and the aim of UAPA was effective prevention of unlawful activities associations in India. So to prevent all those activities which is unlawful. So to prevent those activities so that it does not cause harm to the country or it does not cause any kind of harm to the security of the country, to the law and order of the country, or it disturbs the public order in any way. So the major aim is to prevent those activities from happening, and that is why it is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, that whatever the activities which are against the law, which is opposite of the law, to prevent those activities from happening. And if we talk about the unlawful activity, then any action taken by an individual or association intended to disrupt the territorial integrity and sovereignty of India. So be it integrity, be it security, be it sovereignty of India. It means causing unsettlement or instability within India, disrupting the peace within the nation. So these kind of activities, and the action can be taken against be it an individual be it an association, and the absolute power is given to the central government under the UAPA. So the central government has absolute power and the central government can also decide the provisions of it. Death penalty and life imprisonment is considered to be the highest punishment. So if any accused is found to cause or is about to cause disruption with regard to the security and the public order of the country, then the highest punishment can be death penalty and life imprisonment, and both Indian and foreign nationals can be charged under it. So it is not that only Indian nationals are charged under it, the foreigners, if accused of UAPA, is charged under it. Now in 2004 amendment in the UAPA, what was added was, it added Terrorist Act to the list of offences to ban organizations for terrorist activities, under which 34 outfits were banned, but now this number keeps on changing also. So this has added Terrorist Act also to the list of offences, and with Terrorist Act what comes is that there are many terrorist organizations also which are running in the country or outside the country and which tries to cause harm to the country or to disrupt the security and integrity or the sovereignty of the country, or it challenges the security of the country in many ways. So these kind of terrorist organizations or terrorist individuals were also included in the list. And it empowers the NIA, that is the National Investigation Agency, to investigate and prosecute cases under UAPA across the country. So it empowers the National Investigation Agency to investigate and prosecute cases under UAPA across the country. So it also empowers the NIA to investigate and prosecute. It means that the investigation power is given to NIA and the prosecution power is also given to NIA. It means that NIA looks into the prospect of the UAPA cases. And with regard to the 2019 amendment, terrorist financing, cyber terrorism, individual designation and seizure of property was also included in the list, and etc. And it allows for the detention of suspects without charge or trial for up to 180 days, because it talks about prevention of activities. So under the UAPA, because of the prevention of activities, it means that if there is any suspect that because of this the future course of action might be at risk, then that person can also be arrested on the charges of suspicion. So it allows for the detention of suspect without charge or trial for up to 180 days, because the major work is that stopping something for happening in future, because if that something happens in the future, that something has the ability to cause harm to the security and to the integrity of the nation. Then what are the arguments in favor of UAPA is national security, that it looks into the national security, and because India is such a diverse and a big country, we have a population of around 140 crores. So if we will not look into the prospect of prevention of negative things from happening, or to prevent something from happening which disrupts the peace, the integrity, the security, the law and order, the public order, which can also lead to the safety of its nationals, so that might cause something of a very big or a very huge level. So prevention needs to be looked into. Then counter-terrorism measures, preventive detention, effective prosecution. So preventive detention, it needs to be done, because if we will, or if anyone would wait for the court orders in this case or the arrest orders, then if suspicion is there or any kind of foreign hand is also involved there, and if any kind of delay happens in any kind of cases, then imagine the impact it might have in the coming days, or imagine the frequency and the altitude or the huge nature with which our country also works. And as India is also rising on the global stage, security is one of the most important aspects that we need to look into. Then counter-terrorism measures, because we are a country which has a very volatile neighbors on both of our side, and then we have a long coastline also. Then as a country which shares its land border with two volatile neighbors, and then has a huge coastline, needs to be very focused on the prospect of one's own security. Now arguments against, that it is violative of fundamental rights, that it does not, it gives the power to the central government or the police to arrest someone on do not have the arrest warrant, and it also goes against the fundamental rights like the right to equality, that is Article 14. Then it lacks safeguard mechanism, and it is against the federal structure and low conviction rate. Federal structure because it gives more power to the central government as compared to the state government. Low conviction rate because in this many people are arrested on the basis of suspicion, and if we will go by, then at the end of the day when the people are released, it has been seen that the conviction rate are low, and this is the point on which many a times UAPA has in the past seen criticism. lacks safeguard mechanism, like for example, if we will go by the rules or the principle of natural justice, then the person who is being convicted or the person who has been arrested has the right to have a lawyer for himself or herself. But in the case of UAPA, the central government has the powers, and because in this the bail is not preferred. When I say preferred, it does not mean that bail is not given, and bail is something which is not primary in this case, because this talks about the security of the country. So that is why so much of power is given to the central government with regard to any other aspect. So if we will talk by Zahoor Ahmad Shah Watali versus NIA case, that for granting bail under UAPA, court must not examine the evidence but only accept it at face value, because examining the evidence might take a lot of time, and when it is about the security of the country, then it can be done at the face value. And if we will go by, let me just show you the news that we read. So in this, the Supreme Court said that jail, not bail, is the rule under the UAPA. It is, bail is not very usual under UAPA. Now if we talk and see about the section 43D of the UAPA, it talks about, or it reads, notwithstanding anything contained in the code, no person accused of an offence punishable under chapter 4 and 6 of the UAPA, if in custody, be released on bail or on his own bond, on bail or on his own bond, unless the public prosecutor has been given an opportunity to be heard on the application of such release. So it talks about that under UAPA, and after many cases that has been done, and especially about the Watali case, then the for granting bail under UAPA, court must not examine the evidence, but it can only be accepted on the face value. So when we talk about the bail aspect of UAPA, it can be done at the face value. Now in the end, a mains practice question, that is a mains practice question, and it is of 15 marks. So the question reads, discuss the significance of the UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, in India's counter-terrorism strategy. Suggest measures for achieving a more balanced and transparent legal framework. So the command given here is discuss. So you have to talk about the significance of UAPA, then also you have to talk about it, what are the measures that can be taken for achieving a more balanced and transparent legal framework. So you have to write about UAPA, its significance, what are the measures that can be taken. So try to do your answer writing practice, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.